All right, so on today's episode, we're going to be doing a couple different things. We're gonna be chasing the lack of power issue, so we're gonna do some spark plugs. We're gonna do some wires. Mine are a little crispy, so I want to replace these. And I went to a colder spark plug, and I'm gonna try those. Those were recommended to me, so I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna put a bigger fan on there to help cool it down. And I got these nice Taylor spark plug wires. Already took the time to put boots on them because I tend to roast the ends of them, so do that. I want to take the intake manifold off and check the knock sensors down in the valley cover. So because I'm getting a code for knock sensors, so I think there might be something to do with the circuit itself and maybe corrosion, because I didn't silicone little plugs that the wires actually go down in, and I might have actually got water in there and corroded the knock sensor. So we're gonna investigate that real quick, so let's get working on that. So it just vacuumed and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. A lot of dirt and rocks and stuff. But you can kind of see right in there frayed wires. So I think that's the culprit. All right, well, since this plug is broken and it won't stay on there, there's no point in me trying to even fix this harness. So what I'm gonna do is order a new one. But we can still do the rest of what we were talking about doing, so should be here later this week. Alright, so we're gonna take all these off. And okay, there we go. So I think this one right here is one of the crusty ones. See that? Ooh, gnarly. Oh, this is the crusty one. This is the crusty demon right here. All right. So, yeah. So two of them were bad. I don't know how much like spark was getting out of them, but I don't like this. So we got that whole other set. We'll pull the spark plugs out, and yeah, we'll check all the gaps and do all that stuff. Alright, so let's check the gap on these. It should be 40, so that one's good. See this one? Way out there. 55, 60 damn near. Shoot, this one's barely 35. So, if I remember correctly, back in the early days, they wanted a spark plug gap of 0.60. Now I think it's closer to like 0.40. So as you can see, my spark plugs are all over the place, and that's probably from heating up, cooling down a bunch. I would assume. I don't know. I don't really know the cause, but we'll set it to the correct gap. I should probably look that up right now, actually. All right, so I just checked what they say online. So it's 40 on the spark plug gap, and I think the spark plugs that I got are 0.40. So we'll just double check that before we put them in, and then throw them in real quick. All right. So I'm trying the TR6s. It says that they're supposed to be a slightly colder spark plug. 35 and 40. Put them all in. Look at this. crazy ass weather. Lightning and all kinds of stuff. Hail, big old raindrops. It's nuts. It's a monsoon all of a sudden. Alright. We'll just work through it. Oh, it does feel better though. Alright, so we threw the spark plugs gap to 40, new wires, new spark plug boots, so I stopped burning them up, hopefully, fingers crossed. There's no corrosion with the knock sensors, but it looks like the wires were frayed and probably grounded out, and that's probably what was causing my issue. So I have to order that harness. Hopefully like Summit has it or something like that. If not, Rock Auto or something like that should have it. But pretty much wraps up for tonight. I'll be working on it throughout the week like I normally do, when I can. Alright, so the knock sensor wiring harness came in. It looks like it's a little better constructed unit. Has a little bit more protection on the wires. So hopefully we don't have any issues, and then I'm going to do my best to route this so it doesn't get crushed again. So yeah, let's get working on that. Let's pull this thing out of the package and take a look at it. Alright, so real quick, yeah, it's got a little bit better protection on the wires. The only thing it doesn't have that I wish it did have is it doesn't have these little rubber plugs to keep the moisture out of the knock sensor. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to still use these things, maybe like cut it and so you could actually slip the wire into the center, and yeah, just cut it with like a razor blade or something real quick. Alright, so we just cut 4 little slits in there so we can slip the plug through on both of them, and then we kind of taped it up over here. Because of the way the intake manifold is shaped, it kind of like has a little hump right here. It comes down and lays flat right in the center, and does the same thing on the other side. So we just taped it up so that way it would kind of sit in that groove under the intake manifold. Alright, so while I'm here, I kind of want to swap out this fan, so I'm going to end up taking all this off and kind of leaning the radiator forward so I can undo the bottom bolts for the shroud. So get working on that real quick. Alright, so right here you can kind of see this difference in the size of the motors. So this is a Spall like 950 CFM, and this one's 2150 CFM. So sizable difference in the motors. So yeah, we're just gonna unbolt it. It looks like it's gonna line up like in the stock hole, so I don't have to drill new ones. But yeah, we'll just unbolt this one and we'll see if we can just throw this one on. Well, that was extremely easy. All the bolts line it up, it fits on there perfect. So we'll throw it back on the radiator and put it back together. Alright, so we got everything back up, bolted up, new fan on, new knock sensor harness, spark plug boots, spark plugs. Alright, so we fixed the knock sensor problem. I took it for a test drive. Everything's working real good. It's back up on power. It's not bogging out or anything like that, so we're good there. I decided to change the oil, and but I didn't film that. It's pretty boring. The other thing I did is we put in a new temperature gauge right there, a nice auto meter. Hopefully it reads better than the last one did. So we're pretty much good to go for the next event. A couple minor things, nothing big, but we're gonna be heading out to Battleborn Motorsports. You seen in one of the episodes we're talking about a new venue that we were getting. Kind of jinxed it, I guess, but we ended up not getting it. Even after we signed the contract and everything, the venue decided they didn't want to have us there. So we're gonna go back out to Reno Friendly Raceway and have a good time out there. So we're gonna spend 2 days out there on a full road course, and we'll have the skid pad going. So we'll have a lot of fun. So you'll see that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. So I'll see you next time.